The following reminders help us to commit to making our workplaces safer and making space on site to minimise the risk of exposure to COVID-19 for ourselves, for our workers, and the impact this may have on the wider community. The first point to consider is that we need to ensure that we meet the government's social distancing criteria. This involves limiting access to any building site to only essential workers involved in the activity on a given day. It also means applying the 1 person per 4 square metre rule for work being undertaken in an enclosed or internal space. This includes limiting visitors to the worksite, including third parties, such as building inspectors or real estate agents. It means no one else on the site should be there apart from the builder and the supervisor, unless an exception is made for that person. It also involves providing all necessary clear work zones and workstations for dedicated tasks. The second point to consider is we need to ensure that the government's self-isolation rules are met at all times. We do this by keeping any person displaying a cold or flu or similar symptoms away from the site until the symptoms have passed or a negative test is provided to the site supervisor. This also involves enforcing the 14-day self-isolation policy for anyone returning from overseas or from interstate. This includes keeping any person who has been in close contact with a person that has COVID-19 in self-isolation and off-site. The third point to consider is that we have adequate hygiene facilities. We've learned of the importance of cleaning our hands and washing our hands regularly. We need to provide adequate cleaning products and facilities for all workers on the site. This means also implementing regular hand washing schedules, regularly, at least daily, cleaning and disinfecting any common areas, and cleaning any shared tools, plant or etc. before each use. It also should include increasing ventilation for building sites where internal work is being undertaken. Of course, it goes without saying that appropriate PPE is always a mandatory requirement, but under the situation of COVID-19, this would obviously also include gloves, mask and eye protection and should be appropriate to the task that the person's performing. Try to manage project scheduling to minimise overlap and numbers of people on site each day. Implementing a no more than 6 workers on a house rule, for instance, or scheduling sub-trades and work to minimise people on site and have designated work zones away from other workers performing different tasks. Schedule regular inspections and check that the procedures have been implemented to ensure that the right amount of people are on the job site. Also schedule staggering breaks. Facilitate contactless deliveries. Going contactless as far as practicable with orders and site deliveries is important. Maintaining worksite operation times to allow workers to travel to and from site to avoid peak times. Facilitate site inductions and updates on the latest government requirements. This can be achieved through on-site inductions prior to permitting anyone on the site, and also conducting regular toolbox discussions to enable workers to stay informed on the risks and hazards associated with the latest government COVID-19 updates. Advise all workers of the steps that will be taken should a person enter the site with the virus, or advise the site supervisor that they've been in close contact with the person that has the virus. Manage customers by confirming before they enter a site that nobody else will be on the site that has been overseas, or is showing symptoms, or has the virus.